Hi, this is Kelly from The Truth in Story, and today we're going to be taking a look at a little mini Lenormand set that I could not pass up. This is called the Black Hand Lenormand. It is a mini size deck, not a full size Lenormand. It is by Shelley Barnes, who is an illustration and graphic design person, and it is self-published. You can get the deck itself. It does not come in a larger size, only the mini size. The deck itself was $12. There was also an option to get it with a kind of a hand palmistry piece of graphic, as well as a black onyx pendulum that you could get together as a set with it. But I had opted to just get the cards itself. I will put a link in the description box below to where you can get this. It comes in this really cute little box. A lot of self-published decks comes in these sort of card boxes, but this is actually, you know, the graphics are on it, which I quite love. The reason that I got this deck is I was looking for a black and white deck for a couple reasons. One, for Three Voices readings with my Wild Unknown. I thought that a black and white deck would be really nice, and just because I like the idea of a black and white deck. I love black and white photography, and I stumbled on this and hadn't seen it anywhere. What is nice about this is it's actually a full set of cards. A full set of playing cards. We have as the Jokers an extra man and woman card. There is, but they don't look any different. But you do get two men, but looking in the other direction. So the man's looking in the opposite direction, and you get another woman card looking in the other direction. But that way, at least you are able to have two men and two women if you need to use that for same-sex relationships. So I quite like that. So you get that as the Jokers, and then you have a full 52 deck of cards, which I also really like, because you can use this for divination cartomancy, but then be also aware of which card, because I'm studying just straight up cartomancy using a 52 card deck, and I've actually made a deck where I've written just along the side, I've written which cards are associated with Lenormand, so that I can just be aware of that association, as well as I will say that I don't pay a lot of attention to the playing card aspect when I'm reading Lenormand. In fact, when I say not a lot, I mean pretty much I never pay attention to it. It's just not something I use on a regular basis, but I want to. And so I was looking for a deck where the actual playing card is quite prominent as well. So I really like this. So as you can see, here are the clubs. And so we have the whole set of clubs that are there, and just the images that are Lenormand based. We have the Lenormand card, but we do actually have the entire card set. So I quite love that aspect, even though I'll mostly be using it straight as Lenormand. I really do like that that's available. But for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the Lenormand cards so we can look at those in terms of Lenormand along with our extra Jokers here. Okay, I'm back. So here are the backs, which I think are absolutely adorable. I love them. Yeah, I love the backs. They're just basic stars on a black background. I will definitely, as you can imagine, be blacking my sides for this deck. I haven't even looked at Lenormand in terms of edging as of yet, but these will be getting the black treatment because that's just going to make these stunning. So I will definitely be doing that. So backs, again, very cute. Love them to death. So then here we have sort of our leftover. These are the actual rest of the cards, so they can be used again as regular cards. And then here we have our extra man and our extra woman card to use in the case of wanting to have same-sex issues, or for whatever reason wanting to put extra ones in there. So here we go. Let's see, let's zoom down a little bit. There we go. So here we have number, and I do a couple things I wanted to point out. They do have the numbers on them, but they are not prominent. They're kind of worked into or close into the artwork, so they're not prominent, which is fine with me because you don't really use the numbers in terms of working with the pips. But the playing card, of course, then stands out, which again is one of the things that I had liked about it, is because I wanted to help me to focus on using the pips. Now I do use pips, but again, it's just not very much, and it's not very consistently. It's not a big part of my Lenormand practice, and it's something I want to incorporate a little more often. So I really like that that's prominent there, because that's what's actually used if you're using numbers and things and kind of adding pips and that kind of such. So just seeing that there's multiple numbers of nines or that kind of thing, whereas we don't really need to have that one prominent because it's other than ordering, we don't use that in terms of the divination itself. So I quite like that aspect. So here we have the rider. Here we have Clover, the ship, the house. Now the king cards, the court cards have an actual image of, like a image of the court, like here's the head of the king. So it's like a little mini card superimposed over the top of the image, making that stand out even further. Here we have the tree, clouds, snake, coffin. I quite like that coffin. Here we have the bouquet. They are slippy. The cards are kind of slippy. I will say that. I mean, they feel great, but they are definitely slippy feeling. Okay, we have the bouquet. Here we have the scythe. I quite like this. The scythe is very prominent. I love that the wheat sheath is still included because I don't use this just for cutting things. I do like it in terms of harvesting. Here we have the whip. Birds, and it is multiple birds, which I like. We have the child, quite a baby child. The fox. I just love this very simple line art to this. We have the bear. Stars, although it is one star, but can't have everything. Here we have the stork. The dog. The tower. The garden. So here we have sort of a, a statue in the middle of a garden. The mountain. Paths. I like that road breaking off. Although we're not going to get a direct, I like paths that kind of point directly to a card. I tend to use anyways, below it. I don't do the above it. I do it on either side here, kind of kitty corner to it. So I just read that regardless of how the path shows up. Here we have a mouse for mice. Again, I would like to, but it's, once you know the basic understandings of the basic meanings of Lenormand, as long as it's clear what it is, it really doesn't much matter, in my opinion. So anyways, here we have the heart card, the ring, the book. I do like closed books. It doesn't matter, as I said, but I do like them. Here we have the letter. Here we have the man. And so as we can see, I'm going to probably put them away. If we had, because right now we have the man and the woman looking at each other, so we can use directionality if we want to. But if we did pull in another man card for two men, we would be able to then still use the directionality even with both men. So that I think is I like that they did it that way. So here we have the man card, the woman card, the lilies, the sun, The moon, I just love that. The key. Fish, I really like the fish one too. The anchor. And the cross. And I quite like this cross because it seems more like the four kind of equal cross versus so much of a religious cross. So I do quite like that. So there we have all of the cards of the Black Hand Lenormand. I love the backs of this. I really, really love the backs of this. Let me stick these over here out of the way and zoom back out. Pull that up out of the way. And give them a good shuffle here. They're general, you know, card stock. They feel nice. They're, you know, basic playing card, but they're thick. I mean, they definitely are not flimsy. They do not have a quick bend to them. Like you really, it's nice card stock, especially for only being $12. I mean, a lot of times published, you know, self-published decks, even Lenormand decks, can get to be pretty pricey. And these are, you know, for $12. I can't remember what the shipping on it was, but it wasn't horrible, and it came very fast. I just got these in today. Give them a good shuffle. Oops, I probably just got them all whopper-jawed with what I just did. Okay, that's good enough. Let's just take a look. Got a 9 card here. Here we have a 9 card. So we can see, you know, this would be maybe talking about something that was ending. If you were just going to do a random 9 card like this. Something that was ending, and we have sort of chatterings or talkings in social settings, but we do have the heart, so there may be sort of a coming together or a conversation that's being taken in a social setting that is going to lead to a connection with somebody and maybe a new romance that is going to bring great happiness. So that's a good thing, right? We have a choice about work that is also going to bring harmony and sort of this rising star, so that's quite positive. So this ending here, there's an ending of something, but has that converse of harvest, because that's what the scythe card is. I really started to come to focus on this idea with a scythe, because we have an ending card. We have a cutting off card in the coffin, right? But the scythe is not, in my opinion, the scythe is not that. The scythe is more like, you know, we have something positive directly. Now, even the death card or the coffin card, we have something ending, which we understand that means something else is going to start. But here we have an actual reaping. There is something that is a benefit that is being reaped by this ending. That is quite a different, because we don't need 2 cards that are just cutting something off. So that to me says that there's a little bit more to the scythe than just cutting off. It is a ending, but that has a benefit. So I quite love that, and we definitely, in this is not a actual reading, but in this particular reading we really see that explained, because here we have the ending that's going to reap benefit. So there's an end of something that is going to reap the benefit, possibly of a relationship and of a job that is going to be taking a different path, that is going to also be a rising situation. So I quite like that. It you know, kind of says what I've been feeling about the scythes anyways of late, as well as lets you see the cards next to them. Then obviously if we wanted to do more like a 5 card, we would kind of shuffle through here and find, which I didn't shuffle very well. So let's say we would find the ring card, because we were looking to find something about a lasting relationship, and we might look at the cards or a relationship that's going. If somebody asked me directly about a marriage, I would probably pick the ring card. So we would do a 5 card. So we have, you know, something isn't quite right that's causing burdens, and we have a strong situation of repetitive, kind of a negative, that sort of discord and things. This doesn't look too, we do have strength here, but it's next to the whip card, so there is some strong disagreements and things going on. So this is not necessarily a relationship that's doing very well. So we could look at them that way. And then let me move this stuff out of the way. Here, I'm just going to do it this way, even though I don't normally lay them out. And this actually really wasn't the best fabric to use for this, because it's dark and this is dark. So I would have used a different fabric that would be a better contrast to it. So let's do this so you can see, although there is quite a bit of glare, you can kind of see how it all does, and everything stands out quite well. You know, we can see our corners standing out, our 4 middles, our first 3 cards, our essence cards. It's quite easy to find the man and the woman card. We have, you know, it's quite, I am quite happy with this. It's quite lovely. So this has just been a quick look at the Black Hand Lenormand. Again, this was about $12. It is a full set of cards, as well as an extra man and woman with the Joker card. And it was a cost of about $12 plus shipping, at least. I don't remember what the shipping was internationally, but it was whatever it was, the shipping was, it was reasonable. And it came quickly. I'm quite excited to give these a go. I have some readings to do, some Lenormand readings to do, and I will definitely be trying this. Oh, I did want to show one more thing. One second. Look how cute that is. Can we just say how cute that is? One of the reasons I had, and I have an Oracle deck coming as well for this, although it's not in black and white, but I feel like it's going to work really well with the Wild Unknown. But for kind of 3 voices, oh, look at that. I love that. I'm just grabbing what's right here just so I can quickly show you. So then often what I do for 3 voices is I'll do a 5 card, and then I will do 3 tarot cards, and then I will pull an oracle card. So I just didn't want anything, to detract from or clash with the black style art. It's not the same style art whatsoever, but I didn't, I don't know. I thought this is probably one that I would use with the Wild Unknown, but we'll see. Probably I'll end up something else really calls out to be used as it. But that was another reason why I had wanted a deck that really didn't have color involved in it. But there we have it. Again, the Black Hand Lenormand. It's simple, but it's gorgeous, and I am really, really happy with it. So there you go.